time. I'm continue playing Hexceed on the Effugium level. If you want to for the first playthrough, Hexceed is a game similar to Minesweeper, where you've got to identify mines in hexes instead of squares. Let's have a look. This is quite an advanced level, as you can see at the top. This is where I've got to. So let's have a look at an untouched level. Okay, here we can see 3 starting points indicated by the kind of play arrow and lots of grey cells. This means we've got no information about them. So let's click the play one. Oh, and we've got 8 mines to find. 0 means there's no mines in any touching cells, so these are both safe. These are both advanced settings in Hexceed. Well, advanced gameplay in Hexceed. This hex shape on the outside indicates cells following that hex have that many mines in them. So here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of those 4 have hexes, and this means in that direction, i.e. there's 3 hexes. So this information and that information, we know that because the 3 are in those, we know that that one, and that one are safe. This one, there's only one unopened cell touching, so that must have a mine on it. And that one, we know it's already got one mine touching it, so that's fulfilled, meaning these are all safe. That's 0, so that must be safe. That 2, well, we know where one of the 2 is, means that one must be the other one. That one's touching 1, so that's safe. And that says 3 are touching it, so we've got 1 there, 2, 3, and that's that bit done. Let's have a look here. Again, it's 0, empty, empty, and empty. This 4 with the hex border indicates there's 4 in those 5, well, in the 6 highlighted cells. There's not enough information to really work out where, but we can click here for a clue if we wanted to, but I haven't used clue since the tutorial level, so click play here. That's 0, 0, 0, 0, and we know 2 cells are in that jumble, but we know 4 are in that jumble, and we know there's total 4 remaining. So from that we can ascertain there aren't any in the cells which are not highlighted, so these should all be safe. And we also know, because only 2 are in those 3 empty spots, the other 2 must be there and there, which I just right clicked on. Okay, this one indicates there's 1 there, there's only 1 touching there, which means that one's safe. Next level. Okay, these thick black borders indicate that that hex doesn't actually touch that section. So we've got no information about those yet, but we do have about those 3. We know that that one's touching 1, and we know that that one's touching 1. And because of this one, we know in that lot there's only one mine left to find. Because of that, we know it's got to be that one, or that one, and therefore it can't be that one. Oh, that one's 0, 0, 0, leaving only that one. Let's go for this one, 0, 0, 0. Okay, we know there's 2 in that section. One's got to be touching that one, and one's got to be touching that one. And since neither of these are touching each other, we know one's got to be there, one's got to be there, which means that and that are safe. Those both, that's all 0, so that and that are safe, only leaving those 2 there. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, 2 here, so that could be any of those 2, any of those. Again, could be any of those three. That 2 indicates in that section there's 2 mines. Seems tricky, but we know there's got to be 2 there, so one it could be that 2, 1, 2, which would leave this one unable to be fulfilled because there's 1 missing. And same if we went for that one and that one, which are both in that section, that would leave that one with only that text. So because of that, we know to fulfill that one, to fulfill those, 2 have got to be in that highlighted section and 2 outside it. So that's 2 of them, and because the other 2 have got to be there or there, all these should be safe. And there we go. That one's touching that mine, so we know that's safe, meaning that one's got to be that one. That 2 is only touch 1, and that 2 is only touch 1, meaning that one's that one. And that's a clear level. Okay, let's have a look at these. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 2, there's only 2 open cells touching, so we could do those. 1, only 1, there's 1 mine touching, so those are safe. 1 mine touching that one, those are therefore safe. 2, those 2 are touching, those are safe, and that's 0. This with an arrow indicates these with arrows indicates the contents of them will change when we rotate. Usually there's a tom up here, but you can also press the R button to rotate. So currently that shows 1 mine being down there, but if we rotate, it now shows in that section there's 4. And rotate back, I'm down there. But we'll figure that out shortly. But here 2, 2, and there's an empty space there. Okay, this one shows there's 5 in that run, and there's a lot to sell there. So we can't actually do much with that at the moment. That's 2 there, and we know there's 3 potential spots for that to be in, and that doesn't help us much. So rotate. 4. Okay, we know 1's there. We know 2 have got to be in there, and the 3rd one therefore has got to be down here somewhere, because 1, 2, 3, so 4th one down there. And because of that, we know there's only 1 down here, and that all these are safe, and that's 0. So we just follow the zeros round. Here's a good 2, 1, 2 are the only 2 touching, and that fulfills that one, which is a good start. Okay, because of this, we know one of these 2 is mine, but we don't know which one, and we know 2 of these, which doesn't help us much because it could be 2 there, the 2 there, and the second one there. So let's continue on having a look. Okay, this helps us a bit because that indicates there's 2 mines in there, but more than those 4 are highlighted, so we know those 2 are safe positions. So if we just knock out those zeros, we know one of these 2 is mine, and because of that, we know since those 2 are both touching that one, we know that isn't, because that's now matching up with that, we know that isn't mine, and therefore that is. See what that highlights. We know 1's in that highlighted section, but since there's 2 there, the other one must be there, and it can't be there. That one's touching, there, 2 there, and 0 there. Let's see. 3, 1, 2, 3. That fulfills that one there. Is there anything? That one. That border means it's not connected to there, so the only place it can be is there, which fills that one. I can't see any obvious ones at the moment. Yes, sorry, there is. That 2. We know 1's got to be in one of those 2 spots, and they're both touching that one, so we know all the others around that one cannot be mines. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We know because of this. We know that 3 touches those 2. So one of them's got to be these, which I touched that one, which means that can't be one. So the only way to fulfil that 2 is there, which fulfills that, fulfills that, fulfills that. Okay, let's have a look here. Got 4 into that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would make it that 3. Let's just rotate, see what that changes to. Oh, that's changed from a 1 to a 0, but that's because that border is shown when that's 0. So that's empty, that's 1, and that must be empty. That's 2, and 2 touching. And we've got there 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know a 4th one must be in those 3. And because of that 3, it must be in those 2, so that's safe. Oh, and that 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that fulfills that. Nicely done. That 4, we've got 1, 2, 3 already filled in that highlighted section. We've got a 2 there. So we know 1's got to be in that section, which will make our 4, which means to fulfill that 2, it's got to be in there, and it can't be in there because those aren't touched to 2. That one is fulfilled, so anything touched that one is done. That 2 completed there. That 3, oh well, we know it's got to be in one of those 2 slots, but that's a rotatable one, as you can see by the light arrows. So let's rotate it, and shows there's 2 in that section, which I don't think helps us much at this point. But that 2 goes there, which fulfills that 1. That one's also done. That's a 0, so that could go there. That doesn't help us much at this point, I would say. That 2, maybe not yet. That 3, no, we know 1's got to be in those 2, but okay, let's have a look, see if anything else helps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we know the 2's got to be in there. Okay. And we know 2's got to be there, and we know 2's got to be there, and we know 2's got to be there. This is where it starts looking difficult. And you can probably see it quicker than I can, but let's see. We know 1's got to be in those 3. It could be in that one, or it could be in those 2. We know 1's got to be in those 2 for that 3. That means there's 2 left over. So if it's that one, it has to be in those 2. If it's in that one, it has to be in those 2. So let's mark both of those 2 by process deduction. Because that one, since included there, means those are safe. That's touching both of those ones. So if those are safe, that's 0, 0, 2, and only 2 touching. I like those. That 3, we've got 1, 2. So we know the 3rd one's got to be in here. That 2's touching 1, so it must be in here, meaning that's safe. That's 1 there. 3, oh nice, only 3 empty spaces touching. That 2 touches those. Done. 1, 2, 3. Fulfills that one, which means that could be marked. Oh, nice big 10. But because of that, we know 1, 2, 3 there, which fulfills that one. Fulfills that one. There's only 1 spot for that to be there. Now let's count up these around to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, there's another 4 somewhere there. That's a big number. Let's see, rotating 2 into that section. So okay, I'm not seeing any actually in mine's highlighted, which means these must be the 2. Luckily they were. 2 there, 2 there, that's done. I mean, that could be done. That's done. That's done. It leaves only those two, which means that's done. Those two are touching. Okay, and there's only one in that section. And because of that, we know that one's touching, so the only place that single one can be in all there is here to fulfill both of those. So those are both done. And that's the one, so those can go. That's nice 0. 2. That 2 can only go there. 3. Again, we've got 2 highlighted, 1, 2. So the third one must be around there. That 3 means we've got 1, 2, 3, which means it can't be in any of those. And that one must be mine. We don't quite know where the third one at that 3 is yet, but we will. We will. Let's just have a look. 3, 5. How many have I got in that section? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 2's done. And place that can fulfill that 3 is there. That 2 is done. So everything else around that 2 done. Meaning only that 3 can be there. 2 there. That 2 there. 1 there. That 1's fulfilled. Around there we go. 2, 2. 1, 1. 1, 1. Nice fat 0 around there. And we did the 10 without me even noticing. That 2's done. And our final mine must be there. Okay, next level we'll go for this one. Okay. 0, 0, 0s. Let's mark all these out. And one spot there. And one match spot there. That's touching. These are with those. Nice. So we know a third one's got to, the second one's got to be in those. And because of that, we know 1, 2, 3, and the only one's not selected is there. And because of that, we know this. Well, we've got 2 out of the 3. The third one's got to be in there. Because of that, we know that one's safe. We know one's in those 2, so all those are safe. We don't have much information to help there. But that is rotatable, so let's rotate. And that double green line means that section there's 5, which doesn't help us much. Let's have a look here. We've got 1 highlighted, and we know the other 2 are in here somewhere. So that doesn't help us much. Okay, so information to solve this is available, but it's not that obvious. Okay. I'm sorry, it is obvious. You see that 5? In this section, there's 5 of them. In all of those, there's 5. So the ones which are highlighted there, but not there, are empty. So there we go. Oh, nice 0. Mark those off. 2, and there's only 2 touching there, which fulfills that one and that one. That disappeared. 1 there. That's only got 2 empty ones touching. So there we go. 0 there, 0 there. It could be any of those. Let's see how many have we found. 1, 2, 3. And we know a 4th one's got to be there, meaning the 5th one's there. So that's done. That doesn't really help. Those are rotatable, so let's rotate and see what we get. 1's touching there. So that one's safe. Well, let's rotate again, and because of that 2, we know that one's 1. Let's see, 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we've only got 3 empty spaces, so it's got to be those 3. That one's completed. Touch that one. Okay, we don't quite know for certain which. If it could be that one and any of those to fulfill that one and that one, but that's rotatable. So let's see what changes if you rotate it. Absolutely bump kiss. This 2, however, shows all those are safe. that one is fulfilled, that one is fulfilled. That's a 0, so that could be marked. And place that 2 can be, if that one is there, that one's therefore done. Those 2 are touching, that one's done. And that's only got, because of these thick lines, that's only got one space it could be, which is there. And that one with the arrow indicates in those highlighted cells there's only one mine, which we've already found, so those are done. We know there's one mine in that batch. We know there's 2 in that circle. We found one of them, and we know to fulfill that one, the other one's got to be there. So all of these are empty. And because of that, we know there's one mine in all those, but there's only one empty space, so it must be there. That's touching it, that's 0. There's an normal space that can be. Okay, that doesn't really help us much there. That doesn't help us much. That doesn't help us much, but if you rotate that, that's a 0, meaning that's safe, meaning that's the only spot that can be. That doesn't help much, because this, well, actually it does, because we know there's only one in those 4, but there's only one empty space touching, one other space touching that 3 for the second of the 3, so that must be a mine. So that's now touching 2, and the third one must be there, meaning these 2 are safe. And we know it's for that 3 it's got to be one of those 2, which means that one indicates those are safe. That's a nice 0. That's one zonal spot it can be. Gums there. Nice 0, 0, 0. Let's see what we've got here. There's one in that section which we know about because it's that 3. We've got 3 in there. We found 1. We know one's got to be in either of those 2. But could be there. It doesn't help us much. Rotate. Okay, 4 in that section. We found 1. And we know only 1 can be in those 2, 3, 4. So those 2 are done. Thanks to that. And because of that, we know that's done. And that's done. That's 1 done. There's 2 touching there and only 2 empty spaces. So there we go. And that disappeared because it had been completed. Now that we've got 1, 2, 3. And the only 4th spot it could be is there, so that's completed there, and the only spot to do that is there. Okay. Third one, my memory is shot, so I've got to keep highlighting ones I've already done. Okay, rotating doesn't help us much there. 2 doesn't help us much there. Okay. Here we know there's 4. Well, there's only 1 spot to complete that one, which is there. There's 5 in that highlighted section. We found 2 of them. That means there's 3 remaining. Because I can count. You know, 1 of them's got to be in there, so that leaves 2 of them in that section. If you rotate that again. There's 4 in that section. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if we mark 4 there, mentally, and because that 5 includes that one, but that 4 doesn't, we know those 2 are safe. There we go, that one. Now there's 4 to allocate there. If we allocate that one, okay, we've got 1 done out of 4. Put the second one there, third one there, fourth one can go there. If you put the second one there, we can't fill in any of these, which means, we'll have too many left over there. So it's got to be that one to complete there, that one marking it complete there, that one's there, and that's 3 out of the 4. Only place the 4th one complete is there. Charge 2, done. That one we've already found the ones there. Ding 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 ding, and one spot there. Okay. There's 5 into that set. Oh, let's rotate to what else we know. There's 5 in those, the outer bit, and we've found one with them. And there's 5 in all of those. So any of those ones which aren't highlighted in here are safe, which is both of those. Only one spot for that one. 3 there. There's only 2 empty spaces with that 3rd one. There, 3rd one. 3 there. 1, 2, 3. For that 2, there's only 1 there, so that's 2, 2. Those are complete there. That 2 is completed. That one was completed. Only way that one can therefore be classified as there. Got 0 there. Got 1 there, completed there. Those 2 complete there. 2 there. That 1 there. Only 1 space for that one can be. And those 2 complete that 2, and that one means, well, all that indicates that isn't a mine. We know 1 mine's in those highlighted squares. We've already found it, so these are safe. That's the 0. There's only 2 touching, 2 empty hexes touching that 2, so those are safe. We know there's 2 in that section. Which doesn't help us much because we found 1, so we know the other one's got to be in there somewhere, but it could be there and there. That one indicates there's actually there's 2 in this section, and since it can't be in both of those because that would make that 2, there's got to be 1 in there, and because of that we know there's got to be, well, because of that we know 1's got to be in those 2, and they're highlighted there, means that these are safe. That's a nice 0, mark the zeros. 2 there, that one's done, and the last one's there. Oh, my throat is feeling a bit sore now, so going to have to call it an end to this stream. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see how my third stream goes. Bye.